Malcolm, could you describe your emotions right now? I mean, you've seen it all. Is this sort of a different feeling even for you?
I mean, yes and no. I think the shock of it all. Um, it's a little surprising, but honestly, I was telling some of the guys this. Unless you win the Super Bowl, it ends like this every time. You never really expect it to end, and that's the part of our business that makes it so hard. Is that every time, whether it's end of the season, first round of the playoffs, NFC Championship, when you lose, it's over. You pack your bags, you get your garbage bag, and it's to the next season. So, nobody feels bad for us. I think, obviously we can look at how we played just over the year, and there's going to be some things we wanted back. But at the end of the day, we did what we needed to do to put ourselves in position to give ourselves a chance. But it was obviously out of our hands. So, like any other season, you're going to evaluate, individually what you did as a team and start to look forward to next year. But I don't think you ever really get used to the abruptness of the end, but it happens every year.
Even though y'all won today pretty decisively, does it still feel like a loss just with what happened with the Ring 49ers game?
Well, when the season's over, wins and losses no longer really matter, and so it's really the dealing with the reality that we won't be able to suit up next week and compete with each other. And I think this team, especially in the last month or so, has really found a rhythm. We felt like we were playing well as a team collectively, and honestly, we've been having fun. And I think that's really the most disappointing part about today. That's kind of what overshadows the performance we had today. And we had a lot of fun today, is that we won't be able to do it again, next week. And every year you have a ton of turnaround when it comes to players. So you realize that this group in particular won't have another chance to play with each other. There's going to be new guys next year, some guys in, some guys out. And that's really, probably the most disappointing part about right now.
Luke? I'm sorry, Mike Tippett.
Malcolm, speaking of the fun being overshadowed right away, I mean, someone asked this earlier, but did you guys enter the locker room and have even 30 seconds of celebrations and high fives, or was immediately rushed to the set and tension?
Yeah, I think immediately you got in the locker room and everybody's watching the TV, So I think by the time everybody got in there, the 49ers had just kicked the field goal or was about to kick a field goal. So, yeah, I mean, what we did today really didn't matter. We wanted to get to the postseason. So once we got the win, did what we were supposed to do, got in the locker room, immediately we're watching TV. And that's, it's hard when your future, your fate is in somebody else's hands.
And when it comes down to this close as it did, I mean, is there something that's already sticking in your mind as the stretch or the game or the reason that you wish you could have a do-over on?
No, I mean, honestly, no. With this game time, you can't get that back. Games, plays, you don't get it back. And so you have to just look at yourself as an individual and feel like, did I do everything I needed to do to give myself the best opportunity to compete and play well? As a team, did we do, what we needed to do week in and week out to give ourselves an opportunity? You're not going to win every game, and winning is hard. And obviously, I think there's going to be some moments where we feel like we could have did. You could nitpick points in the season and say, well, this could have helped or this game here. But in the grand scheme of reality, the only thing that we had control over today was today. And the cards, the chips, they fall where they may.
Luke Johnson.
Hey, Malcolm, that thing said, considering everything that you guys did enjoy this season, is it when somebody like your starting quarterback goes out in the second quarter of the game that you absolutely need to have, you ever felt like just shaking your head, be like, I mean, what else do we have to do with?
No, I mean, look, I've been in it long enough to understand we don't get participation trophies. So nobody cares about what we had to do to give our chance, selves a chance to get into the postseason. We just got to deal with the cards that we're dealt. And we dealt some crazy cards this year, but I think the leadership, did a good job of keeping the team together, keeping us focused, keeping us engaged. But obviously at the end, again, it's tough when it's not in your control what your destiny is.
That's Errol.
Hey Malcolm, I'm only asking you this now, so I don't know if we'll get to talk to you this week. But at this point in your career, with the season over, do you know how long you want to play? Is it something where you have to take a few weeks to think about, or you kind of know?
Yeah, that's a little. Yeah, I don't have that answer right now. I think I told myself a long while ago I wanted to get to 10 years, and then every year after that, it's kind of a evaluate what my body feels like. Family situation, what's what I want to do, and all the way up until a few minutes ago, I was planning on being in the playoffs, competing for another week. So I'm gonna give myself a little time before I even start to think about that.
I think that's it, Malcolm. Appreciate it.
Cool, thank you.